far mountains beyond the village of Oju lived a prominent and respected man called Okoye. His wealth and riches made him one of the most sought-out men in Oju. Many women yearned to be his wife, but he had eyes for just one woman, Nanaya Asantewa, the second daughter of his mate, Mami Abna. One evening, after Mami Abna had served him his dinner, he said to her, "Have a seat, Mami Abna. I will go straight to the point. You are like a mother to me, but today I am interested in your second daughter, Nanaya. I want to marry her and make her my wife and heir to all my fortune." Joy swelled in Mami Abna's heart. It was always her prayer that her boss, Okoye, would find interest in one of her daughters, and the gods had finally listened to her prayers. After all, that was the reason why she made her daughters tag along even when they refused. She rushed home to tell her husband the good news. Mami Abna narrated the story with happiness and joy, but was shocked at her husband's response. "No, woman, I am not giving Nanaya Asantewa away for marriage when her elder sister is a man." Mami Abna did not blink throughout the night. How could her husband block their blessing? She thought throughout the night about how to break the news to her boss, scared she might even lose her job. She avoided Okoye for weeks, and as smart as he was, he noticed how Mami Abna made sure to avoid him. He called her to his living room one evening and said to her, "Mami Abna, I know you've been avoiding me. If it's because you don't approve of me marrying your daughter, don't worry, I won't ask about it again." "No, sir," she said hastily. "I do approve. But the problem is," she hesitated. "Well, my husband said until our first daughter, Ajua, is married off, he won't give Nanaya away for marriage," she said with a stammer. Okoye silently sat and thought about what his maid had said and said to her, "Go home, Mami Abna. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll come see your husband." The next day, Okoye, coupled with some elders from his family, visited Papa Daniel's home. "Good day, Mr. Daniel," Okoye said to the man. "As you may already know, I am interested in your daughter, Nanaya and Ajua. I want to marry both of your daughters, if you would permit." Papa Daniel didn't expect this answer. He knew not giving Nanaya out would prompt him to come into his house, but he never thought in a million years that Okoye would opt to marry two of his daughters. Papa Daniel agreed to Okoye's demands and blessed him with his two daughters. In less than a week, Okoye married both sisters and made them his wife. He loved Nanaya Asantewa, the younger sister, more than the older one, Ajua. He purposely ignored Ajua's existence. Nanaya Asantewa would hear her sister cry deep in the night when everyone was asleep. She knew Okoye married her sister because her dad had refused to give her hand in marriage if Ajua wasn't married off. So she said to her husband one night, "My sister is a good woman. Even if you don't love her, try as much as possible to spend some time with her in her chambers, so her pain doesn't turn to hate for me, my husband." Okoye agreed with his wife Nanaya Asantewa and shared Ajua's chamber some nights. Time passed and both sisters became pregnant at the same time and gave birth on the same day. Okoye still paid no attention to Ajua. This made her hate her sister and her newborn baby. She thought if she had his baby, he would love her a little more, but that did not happen. His attention and love was still with her little sister. In the silence of the night, Ajua mistakenly slept on her child, suffocating her till she passed. She woke up to breastfeed her baby, but noticed it was lifeless. She had killed her baby. Instantly, she began to panic. What do I do? She questioned herself. An idea popped in her head. Quietly, she removed the cloth around her baby and sneaked into her sister's room, exchanged her child for hers, and wrapped her baby in her sister's cloth, laid it beside her, and went into her room to sleep. The cry from Nanaya echoed in her compound as her husband consoled her. As the morning light hit the child's face, she stopped crying. This is not my child, she said. I know my child and what she looked like. This baby is not mine, but that of my sister Ajua. Ajua, who stood near, denied her sister's allegation, saying, This is mine. This baby belongs to me. I understand your grief, but please, the living baby is mine. Both sisters fought and eventually ended up at the king's palace. He asked Nanaya, You say the living baby is yours. How do you know? Your Majesty, a mother knows her child, even if it's just a day old. Ajua interrupted her and said, My sister is just grieved, Your Majesty. The king looked at Ajua and said to the executioner, Since both women claim that the living child belongs to them, take the living child and cut it into 2 halves and divide it between both sisters. Nanaya screamed, No, Your Majesty. It's better for the child to continue living, even if it does not live with me. The king turned to Ajua and asked, What about you? You are wise, O king. Whatever your verdict is, I stand by you. The king smiled in recognition and said, Give the baby to Nanaya Asantua. She is indeed the mother of the child. Nanaya and her husband rejoiced at the final verdict, and Ajua was sent back to her parents' home. There she stayed forever.